Hey, if you're watching this, that means you got your Santa's list ordered, and if you get it home in the mail, oh, hi, Christopher T. Magician, that's Sally right there on the bed. This is what you get when you get home, when you get this home in the mail. It is just a book. You'll have pages with words, you'll have green checks, you'll have red X's, and it's just a normal old book. And what we're going to do is cut it right now so that we have a book where if you flip one way, you have only words. You'll have only green checks in the middle, and you'll have only red X's on the bottom. So what you want to do is take the book and face it away from you. So the top of the book, upside down-ish, the top of the book is facing you. And we're going to cut along right here. My suggestion, since you're doing this for the first time, is to just sort of watch the video and get an idea. Hopefully we'll do this entire process in about 5 minutes and then go back and cut along with me. But since it only takes about 5 minutes, maybe you should do it in like 10 minutes. Take your time. Don't rush it. That way you don't screw it up. All right. The first part is the easiest part. You're going to cut only the pages with green checks. So flip to the first set of green checks. Your left-hand page right here at the top of the page, that's the side that's facing you. You're just going to cut a little slit. Now, it can be really small. It could be like 1/4 of an inch in, just somewhere in there. There's no specific place, but just a small little sliver, just like that. Flip again until you get to the red X's. And again, left-hand page closest to you, another sliver. And we're just going to keep doing this. I'm going to do it right along with you right now. Go to the green checks, left-hand page, and the side facing you on the left page. Cut that out. Red X's, left-hand page, side facing you. A little slit, cut it out. Green checks, cut a little slit. Now just for video purposes, I've been cutting pretty small slits, but you can do, a little bigger. This one's a little bigger. The audience will never really notice that, so it's okay if it's a little bigger. Now the green checks, left-hand page. Another slit. Now that one I just cut, we're going to flip back through, but it was pretty small. It was probably the smallest one I cut. It might be too small. And we'll talk about what you do with that in a second. But again, we're going to cut to the red X's, green checks, and you'll notice I'm cutting, I'd say about 2 to 2.5 inches down the page. And then another one. And you want these to, I like it so that they basically fade right into the rest of the page. If you did it right and you cut enough off, you'll now flip through and you want to test it out, flip through, and you'll pretty much only show words. Now, like I said, I might have cut something too small. If I cut a slit too small, then what will happen is as you're flipping through, you'll end up stopping and seeing green checks at one point. And if that happened, let's just say I cut this one too small, you want to slip just a little bit more off and then test it out again, and you will easily get to a place where you flip the top and you don't see any green checks and you don't see any red X's. Part 1 is done. Okay, part 2 is we want to make the book look like it's only green checks. Now this part is the most difficult part of the whole thing. So here we go. What you're going to do, flip the first page, that's the page with Santa's list on it, over so it's touching the cover, just like this. So there's the cover, first page. Index and middle finger, hold that down. So, cover, first page, index and middle finger, hold them down. You're going to flip the book until you get to the green checks and put your thumb down. So now in between your thumb and index finger are these pages right here. Those are the pages you're now going to cut. And you're going to cut it in the middle. Just like on the other edge where we cut off just a sliver, you're going to cut off just a sliver, but kind of like a semicircle, but just a sliver of a semicircle right there, sort of in the middle of the page. And what you'll see happens is if I flip, the very first thing we come to is the green check. So that's the page we skipped and put next to this page, so that's why we see it. but then the very next page we get to, we cut all of these pages with that sliver. So now we come right here with our thumb. So again, we're going to push this page over, index finger, middle finger, push all the pages until we get to 2 green checks, hold it with your thumb, and right there, we're going to cut a slit right along the middle. I'm actually going to go a little further down so it's a little bit more in the middle of the page. So that's right in the middle of the page. Earlier we cut up here, now we're cutting right about in the middle. Once you do that first cut, you're now going to flip the next page. That's the page with the green check. And hold that now between your index and middle finger. And now you're going to flip. Flip the red ones. Flip the regular pages until we get to the green checks again. Put your thumb down. And now everything between these 2 fingers, we're now going to cut as well. Now, just so you know, this page right here, with the green check, you're not going to cut that page right here. You don't want to cut that page. Just so we don't get confused, I'm going to go back to make sure you don't get confused. So we're going to flip this down with that green check. Hold it just like that. Flip until we get to the next green checks. Thumb down. And then right here, we're going to cut. Just another sliver off from all of those pages. And it does not have to be perfect. The audience will never notice. So we just cut those pages. Now, thumb and index finger, push this page down, clip it again. Index and middle finger. Flip until we get to the next green checks. Thumb down. These are the pages we're now going to cut a sliver out of. And boom. And again, you can see right there, it's not a perfect line. It will never be seen by the audience. So now we cut those, flip a green check down, hold it, index and middle finger, flip until we get to the next green checks, thumb down. And now we're going to cut those right there. Just like that. And I think we got flip one more, index, middle finger. I think we only have one more to go. Flip to the green checks. Oops, got my scissors mixed up. There we go. Cut again between those pages. And we're going to flip the green arrow down, index and middle finger, and now flip, and we're going to cut all the pages. There are no more green checks, so we're going to cut all the pages at the back between the thumb and index finger. So these 2 pages right here, we're going to cut those as well. And if we did it correct, just like before, if you cut a little slip too small, it won't work. So we're going to test it out right now and go through. Green, 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 green. So that worked out. Now, if at some point, let's say you're flipping through and you see a page like that, that means you did not cut far enough down. So on that page, you want to cut a little more and then try it again. You want to only see green check marks. Okay. Second part done. Whew, breathe. Now it's the last part, the easy part. We're going to flip from the bottom of the page. So down here, the bottom in terms of that side. So the far left corner away from you. Down here, we're going to flip. First page, flip it over. Index and middle finger holding it down. Now we're going to flip, skip those green checks and go all the way down to the red X's and put your thumb down right there. And now we're going to take all those pages between the thumb and index finger. And just like the top of the page, we're just going to cut a little slip right down to the bottom. So right off of the bottom, just like that. Red X goes over. And now flip until we get to the next red X. Thumb down and then right there again. Cut it off. Flip that page down, clip it like that, and now flip until the next red X. And thumb down, and now we're going to cut that. We're almost done. Isn't this exciting? Next red X goes down, clip it, flip to the next red X, thumb down, cut those. Flip that one, clip it, go until the next red X. cut that. And that, I believe, is the last page in the book, so we don't have to cut that page. So, if we did that right, when you hold it down here at the bottom and flip, you will get red X's all the way through. And again, if you are flipping through and you come to any page that is not red X's, let's say like this, that means you did not cut that corner far enough, so you want to cut just a little more off. So now you should have a book where if you flip the top, it is normal words all the way through, all the kids' names. Then we have all the check marks. That means those kids have been good. And then at the bottom you have all X's, which means that whatever kid you're testing is bad. So that's the cutting method for Santa's List. And pick up your mess, or either use that for confetti or snow in your Christmas I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's all you got to do. If you watch that, now just follow along with your book in hand and just cut along with me, and it's really easy. So, but just make sure you take your time so you don't mess it up. This is your one chance. That's Sally. Bye, Sally. Bye. Thank you for buying Santa's List. Ooh.